There are people you'll never hear complain. They don't talk about their pain. They don't ask for help when they're barely holding on. But if you've ever seen them in the dark, really seen them, you'd understand how many times they've almost let go, how many nights they sat in silence, how many times they stood back up, alone. These are the ones who never needed applause, who never waited for a rescue, who learned to mend themselves quietly. How to rise again with scraped knees and a soul stitched together by nothing but grit. Not everyone is born strong. Some just didn't have a choice. In astrology, 3 signs embody this quiet resilience: Capricorn, Scorpio, and Virgo. They don't fall easily, but when they do, they rise as someone no one expected. Not for validation, not for revenge, but for the silent power of becoming who they were always meant to be. This is for everyone in the U.S., men and women alike, who have faced their shadows and seek healing through strength and self-love. Let's walk their journey one resilient soul at a time. The strength forged in silence. Some wear their pain like a badge, shouting their struggles for the world to hear. But you carry your wounds in silence, processing them in the quiet corners of your heart. You've faced moments that would break most betrayals, failures, nights when hope felt like a distant star, yet you kept going. You didn't ask for pity or wait for someone to save you. You rebuilt yourself piece by piece with a determination that's as quiet as it is fierce. Your strength isn't loud. It's steadfast, a fire that burns even in the darkest moments. Capricorn, Scorpio, and Virgo are the zodiac's silent warriors, forged in the crucible of their own struggles. Their resilience isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time, stronger, wiser, more themselves. Let's begin with Capricorn, whose steady climb pulls us into their story of quiet endurance. Capricorn, falling in silence, rising unseen. Capricorn, you are the mountain standing firm against the storm, unyielding even when the winds howl. You don't cry for help, not because you don't hurt, but because you believe everyone carries their own burdens. When life weighs heavy, you withdraw, not to punish others, but to protect them from the heaviness you carry. You think everyone's fighting something. I'll handle this. When you break, you don't seek comfort. You need space, a moment to whisper to yourself, this time really hurt. But what makes you extraordinary is this: you never stay down. Even when you're lost, exhausted, broken, you rise again, patching yourself together with quiet acts of courage. No one sees the nights you swallowed your pain, the moments you rebuilt your heart in silence. The deeper you fall, the more you armor yourself, not with coldness, but with resolve, shielding the tenderness you still carry. Failure doesn't make you bitter, it makes you solid. You don't need cheering or applause. You need time to rebuild your inner world, to stand taller than before. When you emerge, you're quieter, steadier, deeper, than anyone expected. Your silence isn't numbness, it's strength, a testament to a heart that feels deeply but heals privately. Capricorn, your healing is in recognizing that your endurance is your power. Find a moment of solitude, a journal, a quiet walk, a starry night, and tell yourself, I am unbreakable. Release the weight of silent struggles and know you deserve peace as much as you've given effort. As Capricorn's steady climb fades into the distance, we turn to Scorpio, whose fiery heart burns through the shadows, drawing us into their intense journey of rebirth. Scorpio breaking like glass, returning like fire. Scorpio, you are the ember glowing beneath ash, a heart that burns with intensity even in silence. You don't fear pain. What you fear is that your pain won't matter, that no one will see its depth. When you fall apart, you disappear, not for attention, but to heal alone. Like a wild animal tending its wounds, you retreat into the dark, refusing to be seen. Your grief runs so deep, it burns quietly, consuming even your tears. No one knows how much you hurt because you don't share it, don't show it, don't wait for anyone to ask. Yet somehow you rise. Not the same, but stronger, sharper, more whole. A Scorpio after heartbreak is a different being, no longer begging for love, no longer craving approval. You become your own safe haven, fierce, focused, forged from everything that once shattered you. You don't seek revenge, you evolve. Your silence becomes your strength, your stillness, your storm. You don't need the world to see your fire. You need to know you lit it yourself right where you almost gave up. Your healing is in embracing your transformation as power. You deserve someone who sees your depth, who honors your fire without fearing it. Find a quiet space, a candlelit room, a shadowed corner, and say, my heart is fierce. Let go of the pain that tried to define you. Your resilience is your legacy. Scorpio, a flame that no darkness can extinguish. As Scorpio's fire settles into a steady glow, we meet Virgo, whose quiet grace anchors us in a story of healing through self-acceptance. Virgo breaking under pressure, healing through grace. Virgo, you are the quiet gardener, tending to life with precision and care, carrying the weight of your own expectations. You don't collapse from others' burdens, you collapse under your own. The pressure to be perfect, to never trouble anyone, to always be better, presses down until it's too much. You're hardest on yourself, striving to get it right, to be kind, capable enough. But sometimes that effort becomes a silent storm, overwhelming your tender heart. When you break, you don't blame others, you blame yourself. You rewind every step, overanalyze every mistake. Hold yourself to impossible standards no one else demanded. You get lost in the loop of not good enough even when you're doing more than most. But time changes you. One day something shifts and you whisper, "I don't have to be perfect to be worthy." From that moment, you become softer, still sharp, still responsible, but less rigid, less harsh. You start forgiving yourself, and everything transforms. You strive, but now for joy, not just approval. Your healing is in recognizing that your care is a gift, not a burden. You deserve to breathe, to rest, to be loved for your imperfections. Find a grounding space, a notebook, a garden, a quiet moment, and say, "My worth is in my heart." Release the weight of self-criticism and know your grace is your strength. Healing for resilient souls. If you see yourself in Capricorn's endurance, Scorpio's fire, or Virgo's grace, or if you've ever faced your pain in silence, know this. Your resilience is your power. You've carried weights others couldn't imagine, rebuilt yourself without fanfare, risen from shadows with quiet determination. Your healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about weaving your struggles into your strength, loving yourself with the same grit you've used to survive. Find a quiet space today, a journal, a starry night, a moment of solitude. Place your hand over your heart and feel its steady rhythm. Say, "My heart is unstoppable." Write down the struggles you've overcome, the moments you rose again. Keep them as a testament to your resilience, or let them go as a symbol of your freedom. Your heart is a masterpiece, forged in silence, shining brighter for its scars. The life you deserve. You deserve a life that honors you, not just when you're strong, but when you're healing. A life with people who see your silence as depth, your resilience as beauty, your heart as a treasure. That life may take time, and that's okay. You don't open up easily, and you shouldn't have to. The right connections will be patient, steadfast, true. A life that feels like a sanctuary, not a struggle. Until that life fully unfolds, be the one who holds yourself first. Listen to your heart. Create space for your dreams. Remind yourself that you deserve rest, peace, joy. You don't need to prove your strength to anyone. Your quiet rise is your legacy, your steadfast heart, your gift. A message for every resilient soul, for every Capricorn, Scorpio, Virgo, and every soul who has faced the dark and risen quietly. Know this. Your heart is a beacon. Your resilience is a strength. Your silence is a story. You don't need to rush your healing or seek the world's approval. You are arriving one breath, one moment, one act of self-love at a time. Keep nurturing your soul, protecting your peace, believing in the power of your heart. You are not broken, you are radiant, and your light shines brightest in the quiet. Your strength is your story.